Shrek Marathon, yay! Yay! So this marathon was inspired by a coworker who he made a really cool video about like the cultural impact of Shrek. I'll link his video in the description if you want to watch it. I think it's really well done. It's nicely edited, something I don't do here. So the first film has aged really well, although animation technology has, of course, evolved. The characters were kind of stylized, so they're not supposed to look like real people, so it's not too distracting. The thing I feel ages it the most is the Smash Mouth song, because I hate Smash Mouth. I did hear All Star sung by somebody else recently. It was decent. It was good. I did not mind it, but sung by Smash Mouth is like nails on a chalkboard to me. Personal preferences. I did watch this with the filmmaker's commentary and was horrified to learn what happened to Mama Bear. It's not good. I love the motif of sunflowers. If you've watched it, you may have noticed when they're walking in the field, like on the quest towards Fiona's castle, there's a field of sunflowers. Fiona's dress itself has sunflowers embroidered into the bodice, and then the first like present that Shrek is giving her when like he realizes that he loves her is sunflower as well. So it's nice motif to have repeating, and that's actually why I got in my little headband there. Me paying tribute. I do think the best part of the movie is the montage during the Hallelujah song. The cutting back and forth between the characters, just so beautifully done, and it shows so like poetically, if you will, that like Fiona and Shrek are kind of in the same place emotionally, that they do love each other and are destined to be together. It's just so well done. Next we watched Shrek the Musical on Netflix, which is so much better than it needs to be. The costumes are so ingenious, and how they do quick changes, like, some of them are quite mind-boggling. Like, it's the same actress playing Fiona the whole time. How does she go from, like, you know, human Fiona to ogre Fiona so quickly? I have no idea. But magic is the only answer I can come up with. In the Netflix production, it was nice to see that they kind of retconned Mama Bear and she's alive, safe and sound. It shows some of the backstory of Lord Farquaad, which I'm not going to delve into because I'm trying not to do spoilers, but I feel like Mama Bear being alive is not that bad. The actor who played Farquaad is, like, by himself worth the price of admission. Like, he's just so funny, and it's great. One thing that's nice is it doesn't really seem like anybody's doing, like, an impression of the actors who played the characters in the movies. They just kind of bring their own thing. Yeah, I do kind of feel like it's the amount of singing that Donkey would have liked. Like, this might have been written by Donkey. Very possible. They did add a bit to the plot, so it doesn't feel like you're just watching, like, the same movie but with more songs, which is very nice. But yeah, if you haven't watched it, what are you doing with your life? Go to Netflix right now. Shrek the Musical. I promise it's good. I mean, of course, if you enjoy Shrek, watch it. If you don't, I'm judging. Up next we watched Shrek 2. Um, Her mom and dad are named after a real couple who worked in Hollywood for decades. There's a great documentary about them called Harold and Lillian, A Hollywood Love Story. I can't remember if it's on Netflix. I didn't check. But if you come across it, if you enjoy the history of Hollywood and stuff, it's really interesting. And, I mean, it's nice to see, like, a couple in Hollywood last a long time. Harold and Lillian, Hollywood Love Story. Go watch that as well. That's your homework. Also, just briefly noting, I love how in her bedroom there's a poster of Sir Justin, which is, of course, Justin Timberlake, who's in Shrek the Third. It's just kind of those, like, meta moments. We did not watch this with the director's commentary because I just kind of felt like just watching the movie. But it has a director's commentary, so it's pretty cool. One that does not is Shrek the Third. Where am I? My favorite scene is when Gingy kind of like his life flashes before his eyes. It just like shows more of Gingy's backstory, because Gingy is the most important character. Most important. Can you tell who's my favorite character from these movies? Yeah. Also, the Dada scene cracks me up every single time, and the funeral scene when they're singing "Live and Let Die," it's just it cracks me up. Might have a dark sense of humor, but I do kind of feel like this one's the weakest entry in the franchise, but it's still well worth watching. It also has the most sparse special features on any of the DVDs. So, like, maybe the studio thought it was the weakest too, and were like, let's not waste time in the recording booth. Where am I at? Boop, boop, boop. Oh, one thing that is funny, when you watch these in order, if you have DVDs like me, if you watch the previews, you can see Jack Black advertising different Kung Fu Panda movies, which is pretty funny, and like wearing different outfits, and it gets sillier over time. But those are worth watching the ads for. Next we have Shrek Forever After. Wish there was more Gladiator Gingy. Full disclosure. It ended in such a good way. It kind of reminds me of, like, It's a Wonderful Life, except Clarence is evil. Clarence would be Rumpelstiltskin, of course, in this case. It was nice to see, like, the ogre babies are still babies and not annoying teenagers, as seems to be the trend in movies, and one of my pet peeves. Just let them be babies for a while. But yeah, it ended really well. The characters, like, had a nice story arc, dealt with real world issues. It was a good one. Up next, we finished our marathon with Puss in Boots. It is actually a prequel, like, standalone movie. It takes place before Puss, like, met up with them in Shrek 2. But it's decent, and it shows him as a cute little kitten, which is adorable. We watched this with a trivia track on it, which is basically like a pop-up video from back in the day, VH1. You remember. from that, we learned that Jack and Jill are supposed to be a married couple instead of siblings, which was something I have never picked up on from watching the film. I just thought they were nasty and, like trying to be all inbred. A lot of the movie is influenced by Sergio Leone, who made The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which you should watch if you haven't. Add that to your homework. Which is just kind of funny. Like, here's a kid's movie influenced by spaghetti westerns. There's also a short on here called The Three Diablos, which seems to kind of pay homage to the fact that Puss was originally supposed to be kind of a Three Musketeers, like D'Artagnan type. But he was changed to be more reminiscent of Zorro when Antonio Banderas was cast. It's pretty quality short. Like, there's like details and the stonework of the walls and everything. I recommend Three Diablos as well. There are also several holiday specials made over the years, but we didn't watch them during this marathon, choosing to stick to the Shrek cinematic universe. A couple of them are on Netflix, so if you feel like it, check those out. Overall, I think it's amazing to see how the animation has developed over a decade. Like, in the first movie, her hair is in like a tight braid because they really couldn't animate free flowing hair. And by the time you get to Shrek Ever After, the final chapter, she has like this free flowing hairstyle that was inspired by Janis Joplin. And it's like this wild, realistic looking hair. But yeah, it's just really quite impressive that just over a decade it advanced that much. And the characters, Shrek and Fiona, like, have real emotional arcs. They, like, deal with real, like, couples things, and you don't get that in kids' movies these days, or rarely, I should say. But yeah, if you haven't watched these in a while, dig them out. You'll enjoy it, and it might be a good distraction from like current events for a couple minutes. But yeah, happy viewings. We'll see you later.